let's revisit the goings on as it relates to America's top dogs, and by that I mean the operators. What's going on in the world of special ops and the hardened men of valor who make up America's special forces? This is on NPR here. It says headline: A ninja with a sword assailed the U.S. Army Special Operations Unit in California.
Well, I'm assuming that one guy with a sword against trained American Special Forces troops. I'm guessing that this was a very short conflict. They made quick work of him, and then went back to the base to pound brews.
Yeah, no, I mean, how quick did our boys deal with him?
Yeah, I'm going to say the over-under here has got to be like 30 seconds.
Yeah, at most.
What I like about this news article is that finally, maybe for the first time ever, we get a real-world instance that actually does test out the theories and scenarios promulgated by my favorite History Channel show. What is it? Ancient Warriors, Warrior versus Warrior.
That's Deadliest Warrior.
Deadliest Warrior, right? Where they were like, who would win? A pirate or
a gangster.
An
IRA or the Taliban.
IRA versus Taliban is the best episode I've ever seen.
So this is
that's a good memory. Like taking our friends Adderall and drinking Bud Heavies and watching that show and arguing.
Just the fake data that they would have, where it's like we compiled all of these data points. Coolness of weapons. Well, clearly there's a huge advantage here on one side, and then they would just go to town on the ballistics dummies. Oh man, it was so funny.
That was not fake. That was how you don't know fucking anything about computers. It's how Palantir started. Peter Thiel got the contract for that show.
I think of Deadliest Warrior as like the greatest gift that Nate Silver ever gave us, because that whole thing seems like an outgrowth of the quantitative revolution, where we're going to use data to figure shit out and entertain the rubes.
You know how the clock's been turning back lately?
Oh yeah. We're back to Obama era.
Yeah,
Vox. We're on our way to Bush 2. We're in that direction.
Absolutely. Vox closed a vertical they had called Identities.
God, that's so funny.
Huge.
I saw you said, I'm like, they had a fucking vertical called Identities.
Yeah,
they ran out of them. They did. We thought there were more than there. It turns out to be. We're very sorry.
They're like, when they launched this one, they're like, this is going to run and run. This bit has legs, boys.
Yeah.
We were in the lab trying to create some new identities, but we created ungodly creatures, unfit for human sight. We have to close the whole thing.
It was just a bunch of Ripley clones going, kill my identity, kill it.
MGK and Megan Fox. That's not a celebrity relationship in the past 5 years.
No,
old shit.
That's the
most importantly.
Shit. That's Billy Bob and Angelina Jolie.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Most important thing. This is the most important thing probably in the world. The most important thing in the entire world. This is the barometer, the doomsday clock for how much in 2013 or so we are. The size of women's hats is massive.
We're getting big again.
Yeah. Every woman is wearing a hat that an overseer would wear right now. Not every woman, like it hasn't really hit New York yet, but it will. But in the cool part of Columbus, Ohio, those hats are big as fuck again. Desert boots for women have gone up 17,000%. That's why supply chains are fucked up. Too many women ordered desert boots and big hats, and they sent a new special fast boat, and it caused a tidal wave in its wake, and it tipped over all the boats that have PS5s and milk in them.
There are currently 15 Maersk container ships idling off the coast of California, all of them loaded to bear with sombreros for America's women, which, guess what? You're not getting. They're not going to have. Christmas is canceled. Christmas is ruined because the 10-gallon hats, sombreros, and sort of pith helmets that women have ordered for the holiday season are not going to arrive on time.
Yeah. If you're the women in your life don't get their spiritual gangster hoodie in time, there's going to be several mass shootings done by women.
All right, so back to Deadliest Warrior. We've got I honestly,
which is coming back now.
Absolutely.
I mean, it literally has in real life.
Yeah.
Here, this is a bout for the ages. Who would win in a fight? Delta Force Special Operations soldiers, or someone trained in the ancient art of ninjutsu? Let's go to the tape. Let's break down the tale of the tape. Reading from the article, it begins. It seems unlikely, but it did happen. A man wearing full ninja garb attacked members of a U.S. Army Special Operations unit in the middle of the night in the California desert, setting off a scramble for safety and resulting in at least 2 injuries, according to police and other records. The incident occurred a little after 1 a.m. I mean, okay, if you know anything about ninjutsu, that's what we call the ninja-ing hour.
Yes. The karate hour is like 2 p.m.
No,
Karate's done in the afternoon.
No, yeah,
karate hour's done in the
karate
afternoon.
hour is 4 to 6 after your parents pick you up from school, but before cello practice.
Yeah, and you need friends for karate hour. Like you need an entire class worth of homies. Really, ninja hour. It's after midnight, and you're alone.
And no, it's like, let's just say it's feudal era Japan. You are the natural born son of the shogunate, but he doesn't have a male heir, so you are essentially in line to take over the shogunate, but you are essentially a dishonorable character. You're walking around your castle. You know, it's the hour. It's late at night. 1 o'clock happens. You're like, oh fuck. You hear a little gust of wind, and then it's already too late. The ninja are upon you.
Yeah, it's done. You think you're fine, and you try to turn around to figure out what that noise was, and your head falls off.
Yep. So, and then, U.S. Special Army Operations, they're about to learn about the ninja-ing hour. It says, when it occurred after 1 a.m. on September 18th, when authorities in Ridgecrest, California, got word of a sword-wielding man dressed as a ninja on the loose at the Inyokern Airport in Kern County, north of Los Angeles. Kern County Sheriff's deputies found the suspect had assaulted a victim at the scene with a sword and thrown a rock through a hangar window, hitting an additional victim in the head. Throwing a rock. I mean, classically it would be the shuriken, yes. The throwing stars. Yes, obviously.
Well, he's probably like saving those for later. Because the problem with those is you throw them, you gotta like run over and get them again. It's a little awkward.
It says the attack came without any warning. I mean, it's a ninja. That's the whole point. I mean, yeah, it's attacks without warning are their specialty. So it says the victims are members of the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, or SOAR, according to Stars and Stripes newspaper, which states that the military personnel were at the airport as part of training exercises. The incident report quickly drew attention after it was posted on Instagram. It describes how a staff sergeant was smoking a late-night cigarette near an airport hangar when an unknown person wearing full ninja garb approached him with a question. "Do you know who I am?" the man asked. The sergeant said he did not. "Do you know where my family is?" the man asked. When the sergeant said he did not know, the person in ninja garb began to slash at him with a katana sword. The report states, adding that the sergeant's leg and phone were struck.
He was literally on his phone. I guarantee you. It was in his hand. He was doing Epic Troop TikToks.
Yeah, no, he was doing the Delta Force shuffle.
Ray, when someone asks you where their family is, you tell them.
Okay, so it says the sergeant ran, jumped a fence, and reached the building where he joined others from his company. As he and a captain locked the door and called 911.
Wait a minute, excuse me? They called the cops.
They called
some guy who's like 350 pounds stuffed into a fucking uniform.
Okay, I got sorry for the false advertising on this episode of Deadliest Warrior. We pitched it as Ninja versus Special Operations Commando. In fact, the episode is about Ninja versus local Kern County Sheriff's Department.
God damn it! What are we paying these assholes for?
They're the SOAR Special Operations Group doing training exercise, and they're like, "Fuck! Lock the door! Call 911! Call 911!"
Literally, I could have done that.
Do you know, like, the job of Army Special Forces? They're main thing that they're supposed to do is they call it force multiplier. That's the DoD term for it. That they go into countries and they train irregular militias. Mm-hmm. Is this what they're telling them how to do? How to run away?
Yeah.
That was remember. Remember
most
when
importantly,
the Iraqi army fled Mosul?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I wonder who told them how to do that.
they're like, most importantly, if you were observing standard army protocol, standard SOAR protocol when you were on maneuvers, you will already have your phone in your hand recording TikToks. So you just switch over to the phone feature and call for help.
And I understand for some of you, talking to someone on the phone triggers anxiety, so you can text.
Well, that's how they make the selection from airborne. That's what Special Forces school is. Can you call the pizza place?
Yep.
And have Hell Week,
and then,
no apps on your phone. You have to get all your food through
and
phone
then
calls.
they'll stress test you because they'll invent a scenario where you call to order pizza and then they deliver it to the wrong address. They deliver the wrong pizza. They're like, no, it's not over. You got to call him back. You got to complain.
You got to
get
dispute the
aggressive.
charges.
Yeah,
You have to stand up for yourself, Sergeant.
it says here, the assailant kicked and punched doors and windows, according to the report, which has redacted the service members' names.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to blow
why
the
you wouldn't
cover
want
of
this
someone on
out
that
there.
secret mission.
The Ridgecrest Police Department blotter entry from that night says, a report came in at 1:19 a.m. of a suspect in a ninja outfit, complete with a sword, in Yokern Airport. The report cites at least one victim more than 20 minutes after the initial contact. The blotter says a 911 call came from someone at the airport saying 26 special operations military members were hunkered down in a hangar wondering where help is. You are the help, dude. What the fuck? 26 of these guys. And it's one ninja banging on the door going, where's my family? Where's my family? Where is the shogunate's illegitimate natural born son from his courtesan who is the heir to the Meiji dynasty?
So they ran in terror and barricaded the door against one option that this guy's just schizophrenic. That's possible. Or a time traveler. Those are the only two options. A time traveler who speaks English.
I mean, okay. I think we know in Yokern Air Force Base what's going on there. In one of those hangars, that's where they hide. That's where they house the loop jumping cube.
Ooh, yeah.
And he popped out with his sword.
Something came back from a different loop.
One thing is for certain.
The deadliest ninja of all.
This incident has definitively resolved the debate over whether or not we should have dropped the nuclear bombs on Japan. App had to. That was the only thing. That was good. What we get to the home islands where the ninjas are, and it's over.
Douglas MacArthur, he's just like puffing on his corncob pipe. He sort of feels what initially feels like a sort of a cold wind across his throat. He just puffs, and then like the corncob pipe just like splits in two, and then following that, his neck. Okay. 26 of them. I love it. Hunkered down in a hangar, wondering
we
where
don't know
help
how
is.
many of them were being debilitated by Havana syndrome.
I love the next subhead is the ninja did not obey deputy's orders.
Well, I'm out of ideas now.
Who do you think you would? Okay, I found out what Spec Ops this was. I thought this was Army Spec Ops. I was incorrect. This is they're under Army Special Forces Command, but this isn't like 5th Special Forces. It's the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. These are like their special operations helicopter pilots.
These are just like the flight attendants of the Special Forces.
Well, but they have to get like airborne certified and all this shit. Like they should be. This is still something they should be able to handle.
You'd think. I'll tell you who's taking the biggest L from this whole story, the Taliban. They're like, fuck, it took us 20 years to kick these assholes out of our country.
All they had to do is just run at them. That's all it takes, and they just fold.
Let's see here.
This is like this is Uzi running up on Rich the Kid at the Starbucks. But if there were like 50 of Rich the Kids.
It says here, police officers located the ninja suspect on a nearby road, but the man refused to follow commands and brandished the sword at deputies.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
Projectile rounds were used, but were ineffective, it added.
Damn.
Oh, he was snapping it out of the air.
He was.
He was doing the blade deflect.
Yeah, he was cutting them in half. The bullets are all just
yeah.
bisected, littering the ground around him.
This guy's awesome.
He's pretty cool.
The man
Does
ran.
he need a job? Should fire all these assholes and just have him do it.
What kind of a budget would you need just to have this guy? You'd need to just pay him. I don't know what scale for a ninja.
All
I
you
think
need
they're
to
in
get him-
WGA West.
All you need to do is you need to give him some of that the Japanese mayonnaise, like a tub of it a week, and a Crunchyroll subscription, and you're good.
That's nothing. That's not even $1,000 a year.
Yeah, it's easy.
I just freed up $700 billion from the U.S. budget annually.
It says the projectile rounds were ineffective, but when deputies used a taser on him, he dropped the sword, and deputies were able to take him into custody. He was identified as Gino Rivera, 35. He's Steven Seagal's character from Out for Justice. Gino Felino, the deadliest ninja of all time.
Gino, everyone thought Italian. They thought a guy who's in the ninjutsu branch of the mafia, obviously, like Seagal. But this appears to be a Chicano, maybe. I don't really know, but maybe.
It says here, Rivera was arrested for attempted homicide, assault with a deadly weapon, brandishing a weapon with the intent to resist or prevent arrest, along with vandalism and obstructing or delaying a peace officer in the performance of their duties, the sheriff's office said. Both the sergeant and the captain required stitches for their wounds, but were cleared to return to duty, the report says. The 160th SOAR's missions include helicopters to insert Navy SEALs and other special operators. It trains for night missions, and some of its operations take place under cover of darkness or very early in the morning. The soldiers at Indiokern were attached to the regiment's 2nd Battalion, which uses Chinook and Black Hawk assault helicopters as well as Gray Eagle drones. The battalion is based at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. So
they should not.
On this
they
episode
should
of
move.
Deadliest Warrior, the entire Army SOAR Special Operations Helicopter Brigade versus one guy with a ninja sword. One guy with a ninja sword, the clear victor.
Well,
But the only thing that can defeat a katana is a taser. So the real winner, the real deadliest warrior, is the diabetic deputy sheriff.
But only with a taser. I mean, that's kind of the first thing you learn in 8th grade biology. The ninja's weakness is electricity. They hate it. Because the electricity made it so you can illuminate the dark.
That's true.
That's their biggest enemy.
The age of electricity is what brought the end of the age of the ninja.
That was it. Yeah. No, that's why New York is kind of the safest city in the world.
Yeah.
It's always illuminated.
Not a lot of
Absolutely.
ninjas.
We have dealt with
When has Paris ever been attacked by ninjas? The City of Lights? Never. That's them. It's like saying, it's when you announce you've bought a new ICBM. It's like, don't fuck with us.
Yeah.
There's so many lights.
Many cities the world over have, through prudent public policy, dealt with the ninja problem.
But these guys they're like, oh, the dark's our friend because we fly scary helicopters when it's dark out. No, not really.
Yeah.
You've been dark helicopter guys for maybe 30 years.
They only
These guys have
adopted the darkness. He was born into it. You could even say molded by it.
Exactly.
These special operations helicopter pilots, they train to fly helicopters at night using night vision. The ninja also utilizes night vision, but they're called his eyes.
Exactly.
No rules, no safety, no mercy. It's a duel to the death to decide who is the deadliest warrior.